morning. Hey, this is another Buckeye Wars. Yeah, little series I put together. What it was like growing up in El Dorado Hills, California, back in the 70s and the 80s. You remember back a few videos back, I was talking about the Buckeye trees that were so full of big old leafy. They had leaves on them that were almost as big as a dinner plate, and we had built this fort that had a platform on it, kind of like a what do they call it, a tree fort, but it didn't have walls or nothing. It was just a platform, and it was sturdy. And we built it up with branches from Buckeye trees that were all over the hill. We'd lop off a branch and drag it to our fort, and we set it up to make the tree look thicker and fuller, kind of like a nest. And like I had said in other videos, we would kind of hide in that and hope that somebody would come by, and of course they never did. One time they came by, and I told that story earlier. Go back and look through the videos. There's a really good story about the gals that came by on bicycles. And anyway, we had this Buckeye tree fort, and we'd collect Buckeyes and throw at one another because there really wasn't anybody else to throw them at. But that's why this whole series is entitled Buckeye Wars, because we would collect Buckeyes and we would throw them at one another, and we were always having Buckeye Wars. Have you ever had the air knocked out of you? You ever been punched in the stomach or fallen or something and had the air knocked out of you where you flat out couldn't breathe? Well, I was working on the Buckeye Fort, and I was on the side of it that didn't have real good support. And it was about maybe 5 feet off the ground, not terribly high. And I slipped, and I fell flat on my back from about 5 feet up, and whoop, landed on my back. It knocked every single wisp of air out of my lungs. I thought I was dead. I could not catch my breath. I was like, nothing. And then, of course, God reached down, flicked the tip of my nose, and said, "Bobby, take a breath, you dumbass." So I tried, and I did, and boy, what a feeling. Holy smoke. I felt like a little brand new born birdie that had fallen out of the nest. Kerthunk! Oh, it was awful. But of course, he had my back, flicked my nose, and told me, "Dude, take a breath, you dumbass." So I did, and I was all better. Bill was up standing on the platform looking down at me like, "Dude, are you alive?" "Hey, Kay down there!" Oh my God. If you've had the air knocked out of me like I did, you'll understand this video. If you haven't, don't. It sucked. I'll never forget that. Wow. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't remember how to take a breath. and I'd only fallen from like 5 feet, and I fell into, pretty plush grass, because it was the time of year where it was green on the hills, and the grasses were pretty long and dense and pretty pretty gorgeous. I love it when the hills get all green. But it was, kind of padded, but kerthunk. I was, oh my God, it sucked. Anyway, yeah. Growing up in El Dorado Hills, California, yet another thing I survived. The little birdie fell out of the nest and continued to chirp. Thank you for joining me for Buckeye Wars.